Hey there guys, and welcome back to Space Engineers. Now it's a bit different today, not survival. We're doing a little look at the Specs of the Future DLC that was recently released. I touched upon it last week in my survival video, but didn't go into detail, and I ended up with an inquiry asking why I didn't touch upon it, or asking if I was going to touch upon it, or something along those lines anyway. So I decided, yeah, sounds like a good idea. So yeah, we're going to have a little look at some of the features of Sparks of the Future DLC and see what it brings us. So first thing we have like these new interior walls, and they're actually pretty cool. So if I go to 3, and if I rotate it round, it actually has different looks on each side of it. So if like that. So yeah, I mean you can see it over here, like that. That's pretty cool. So for example, we could probably do something say like that. If we rotate it round to flip it like that. Let's do it that way. Turn it like that. And then we'll rotate that like that, and then we'll probably do another end piece when I can find it. Where are you? There you are, like that. And then let's say we have that like so, and yeah, ooh. That's not lined up. So obviously that centerpiece is not fully lined up in all directions. So if I just let's see, yeah, that's a shame, that. So I couldn't really flip that way and have it reversed. It's a bit unfortunate, but if, at night time that would actually glow, or in the dark it would glow. So if I go in here, let's change the offset. All right. Oh, I actually thought them strips glued. You got them little segments here that glow, but yeah, I actually thought they would to glow as well, but they don't. But then we have, if I go Alt P and I go into my color picker, we have a couple of new colorable neon light textures that you can apply to your surfaces, and of course they can all be customized as well. So you choose that, choose your color, and then if I come back out here and then I go to school but 6 again, and then when it works, I really need a new mouse. There we go. So if I do that, yeah, you see that. So this is one of them. If I remember rightly, which one that one is, I believe that's this one, the surface, and then you got the neon lights, and the neon lights is this one back here, and there is slight variation on them. This one has more of the hexagon. I'm not too familiar with these kind of shapes. I think it's hexagon type shapes and stuff like that, but yeah, these do glow in the dark, as we can see. That's pretty cool, and I like how it is that the change in the colour, it affects the glowing light. Now, as far as I'm aware, I'm not too sure if they need power, but it's no different to the interior walls that you would get anyway as standard, and these cost the same amount of materials, I believe, as your standard interior walls. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So moving on. Right, so if we come over here, we actually have the neon tubes. Now you'll actually notice that these ones are glowing here, but these ones are not. Why is that, Simon, you're probably thinking? Well, just like with these surfaces here, you can actually paint them. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. So if I do my 6 and load up a shape, and if I could go Alt P, and then I can choose a colour, like so, okay, and then change the colour. Now, the reason why this one doesn't appear to be glowing is because if I go Alt P again, I choose like black, maybe. I can do that. And it kind of looks like the connections of like either cabling or something else like that. So it could be dual purpose as a slight illumination. Now, of course, they're not actually lights, so they're not supposed to light up a whole area, but they're emissive. They kind of glow. But this could double up as just extra detail inside your builds and just allow you to just yeah, nice little touches. So if I go to forward there, and we've got lots of different variety in shapes on it. So I like that one. I think is a good idea. That allows you to add in the little touch of detail there, so making it look like it's going into the wall. Or in this case, if I go here, let's see if I can grind off the right part. There we go. And then we go forward, and then I'm going to rotate it, like that, and tap that in. Yeah. And then it sort of like bends it around there. So let's go 4 again. And then if I go like that. And then let's see. I might here decide to cap it off there. And then let's add in one of those corner pieces again when I can find it. Like so. There we go. And then if I was to finalize it by just painting those again, like that. Yeah, you see what I'm getting at though? It adds that extra bit of detail to your creations and makes it look more industrial and more like everything's connected. That's pretty darn cool. Now, they've also got this new control panel here. It's just simple button system, much like with the previous one, or the standard one. You can actually set up actions, set it to whatever you like. So if I put it on the battery, toggle it on and off, and then if I came down here, there's actually the ability to add text or pictures to the display. So if I go here, I can choose various textures here. I'm not too sure how to add additional ones. Let's see. I don't think there's a power icon in here. No, doesn't look like it. So if I was to edit text, power, okay. That should. There we go. Yeah. So that works. Now, obviously you'd adjust it. You'd center the text or whatever on it. So let's just go back in. Can I align it? Was the align? Left align, center, and let's do font size. Let's increase that like so. There we go. And then if I was to do that, so the battery on and off. Just as you'd expect. Now, of course, it's not going to function because I just turned it off. So let's just go in there, switch it back on again. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that button. It's more detailed. Allow you to customize it even more. And yeah, I like it. So they're just nice little cosmetic touches that they add. And speaking of cosmetics, we now also have this as well. There's like work counters, so you could add in some extra detail there for these. So if I put that in there, I could put one of them in and like that, have a nice kitchen space like so. And yeah, they're non-functional, they're purely cosmetic, but they look pretty cool. I like it. I like it. A nice little emissive light at the edge there. Pretty kind of cool. Loads of little touches. You got your sink, you got cooler, and all other stuff in there. So that's pretty cool. So you could make yourself a nice little cafeteria and stuff like that. Then now, of course, they've come out black. So if I go P again, and let's go back to standard color. Okay. And then I'll go 6. And then do that. There we go. All right, then it's not quite right, but you get the picture. Anyway, so I think we'll move on to the next one. Now, LCD screens. Yeah, as you can see, these ones are huge. So G, if I go G, we got them here, and basically they're just like the original LCD panels, but they're huge, and they can display as much as the other ones as well. So as you can see, I've got the graphic touches on there. That one, I'm not too sure why that one's just displaying that. Let's that one. So if I turn it off, yeah. Right. So that one. Let's go down here. Text and images, and let's just come down and let's see. Let's put a coffee poster on there. Alrighty then. So yeah, nice giant displays for when you're building your all little city type areas. Pretty cool. Oh great, here comes the weather. Right, in fact, actually, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the time of day. Let's bring it back to daytime again, like that. There we go. Right, and then you got the 4-panel buttons, which I actually used in my ship build in the survival game. And you can change, or just like with the other, you can actually assign it controls to each button, and as just like with the LCD displays as well, you can actually put graphics or text into them. And again, that'd be great for like airlock or something. You could actually title what the button is. So if I go in here, for example, obviously this isn't assigned to it, and say I've already got number 1, 2, which is that one and that one. They're already got some graphics in there. If I go in there, go down here, text and images, and then if I edit text and airlock, let's just say pressure, whatever, just as an example. There we go, and that's put that in there. If I increase the font size like that, and as you can do with the other ones, go center it. Yeah, so you'll be able to put in any message in there, so no more confusing over what buttons do what. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I do. Now then, let's come to simple and simple. Yeah. So now we can actually add lettering into the game as well. Now they're all 3D models, so you cannot change the font. I'll make that clear. There's no font changing on it. It is what it is. Where is it? Symbols. Yeah, it's under symbols. So that is the text style. Pretty cool to have though. So I scroll through using my mouse wheel. Where's... I don't know why, but it always seems to go that wrong angle. So let's go there, like that, and let's finish that one off. Like that. Simple. Oh, I might have to also change the colour, so just like with everything else, if I do that and go here, okay. Go like that. There we go. Finish off the text, and that will work on small grid as well. So these apply to small grid, which is pretty awesome. Moving on. Now, we are all very much aware of the rotors. And the rotors can be used to create this very sort of thing as well, but they're a bit fiddly to do. So now we have the hinge, and it's pretty straightforward to install it. You can actually get it, if I can come in here, where is it? Actually, it doesn't seem to appear in the Sparks of the Future thing there, but if I go into the hinge and do a search, you can get all the individual parts. It also has a small grid counterpart, which is that one. These ones, I think it's this one, that's the large grid. These are the small grid counterparts. So just got to bear that in mind in your build. So don't try applying that to a small grid. It won't work. So if I go in here, now I've done a little configuring. If I come here, got the hinge, it can do a maximum of 180 degrees. In both directions, so it basically 90 degrees in the upper and 90 degrees in the lower, so 180 degree range in between them. So you can adjust the velocity, your braking, the torque, and various other things. We do the reverse. Yeah, a lot of your typical stuff. Now I've assigned it to one of the control panels, the new ones, so I've got the hinge lock on it. So if I press that, the door won't budge. It won't do anything. So let's unlock it, and then it opens up. Now you'll notice that I've used blast doors on that. The reason being is that if you use standard blocks in it, it can cause a collision. These blast doors have a smaller collision box around them, so that allows a little bit more manoeuvrability, whereas these ones are a full cube one. So yeah, if you're going to use these kind of things, you need to put that into consideration. Make sure you're not using objects that have a full cube collision around them, otherwise it's going to cause clang and things could go bad. So if I hit that again, reverse it. I could speed it up as well. The only thing is though, and in fact I think I'll demonstrate that. So just wait, close like that. I come in here, let's go to the hinge and come down. If I increase the velocity, oh, no. Right, yeah, there we go. So I do that, and you'll probably notice that it's most likely going to bounce. It's not a big bounce, but it will bounce a bit. Close it again. Actually, I could adjust the torque on it as well. So if I come down here, let's increase the torque range on it. That's where it's going to go a bit ridiculous. Open. Close. Yeah, so pretty rapid. That, again, that's pretty cool, and that would be awesome to add into any of your builds for pretty much anything. Not restricted to just doors. You could build pretty much anything, but this is just an example, and that's just a very simple opening door. You could do them double one, so having one on one side and one on the other, and they both open and close onto each other. If I come round here, I've got another example of one. This one more in the style of a garage door. So if I hit reverse, she goes up like that, and reverse, bring it back down, and now as you'll notice, it stops as it gets to the bottom. The reason that happens is because if I come down here, actually go to hinge first, I come to here, I've set the upper limit, which is 90, so the upper limit will be opening outwards and going up. That'll be going to 90 degrees. The lower limit, come down here, is 0. I want it to stop there. I don't want it to swing back upon itself, because otherwise that's what it'll do, and then you'd have to stop it manually. Again, I've applied a hinge lock to that one, so if I have the hinge lock, it won't do anything. Unlock it, and then hit the button, and she opens. Now, of course, you can tinker around as well with the torque on it. I have it at 2.6 meganewton, whatever that is, I'm not too sure. The velocity as well, it'll accelerate until it's reached that speed. So if I was to do that, well, then you got a bit of bounce on it. Same if I flick it up like that. So might turn that down. Keep having to look through that. So if I turn the velocity back down, so 2.26, and I could probably increase the torque into the red. That's not a good idea, but it adds the extra drag to it. If I come back to here, hinge, come down, and then if I reduce the torque, if I go really low, it probably won't move. No, not enough torque behind that. Come back in, adjust the torque, let's put it 5.8. Try again. No, still not enough. $365. Should be enough. Not. Yeah, it can't quite lift it up there, so I'd have to tweak it a bit more. Like that, so 5.4 meganewtons. There we go. You can see it just had a little wobble there, so I'd probably adjust that torque just a little bit more just to make sure it didn't have that wobble, because if you were trying to make an emergency entrance or escape, you wouldn't want that flapping around on you. So again, I used the blast doors on it as well to reduce the friction and prevent collision. Close it again. Yeah, it works a treat. Now, of course, as you'll notice though, this is not going to be airtight. Probably not ideal for a space situation if you're wanting an airtight area. I'm not too sure if the blast doors are actually airtight neither. So in that case, it won't make a huge difference. But these, I really can't see them being airtight, not with that huge gap in them. So that's something you would have to consider when you're actually building your things. So I'm going to show you one last thing, and I'm going to nip round here. Actually, there's a couple more things, but I want to show you this. We now, let's just turn the displays off. We now have new types of ion thrusters, and I like these. They are really nice. I actually applied them to my ship in the survival mode, and I love them. I think they're really good looking. I like them a lot more than the original ion thrusters. So if I go in here, actually, let's turn things back on. Let's go G, ion, and let's just get the original ion thruster. Put that there, like so. These look just so much better. I would be more than happy to use them a lot more than the original ones. Now, they also have them in the atmospheric thruster form as well. If I would do a comparison as well, so Atmos, come in here, go there, and then if I was to flip that round, install that there, and one there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. These ones, the original ones, are more rounded, whereas these ones have a bit more of a cube center area, which makes more sense when building them into your machines and stuff. Other than that though, they are very similar. They still have the fan things on the sides here. They generate as much power, and to note as well, these take exactly the same resources as the original thrusters, so there is no difference in the materials required to make these, so you no need to worry about them. So something else to note though, they are not available in the hydro thrusters. So if you're looking for them in hydro, no, they haven't. These are not in hydro. They are literally just the ion and the atmospheric thrusters. So you'll see they'll work just fine, like that. Woo! Now, of course, this vehicle here, it's hideous. Oh gosh. Yeah, ion thrusters are not very good on the Earth-like planet, if I'm honest. Bring it down to land. Right. So yeah. This thing, it's hideous, but it's just for demonstration purposes anyway. So yeah, you'll notice as well I've got the lettering on here, and they are well, basically they fit one per block. And if we come round here, we now have a small grid door. Something that a lot of people have been craving for, to allow you to make small grid vehicles and actually have it so you can move around and not just be restricted to a cockpit. And that will be airtight as well, so you should be able to then actually make it pressurized within your thingy. So it's sort of like a motorhome type. Hideous. It's just hideous. Let's just face it, it is hideous. So something that's to be noted, the letters, and if I come over here, the neon, the neon tubes, you have to bear in mind that essentially every object within the game is a cube. So I could not just simply put a block on top of that. It won't work. It won't have it. The reason being because these occupy a cube space. So even though they look small, if you look when I'm pointing at it, you can actually see the outlines there of a cube because it's occupying a whole cube. So you bear that in mind in your creations. Now, I know a lot of you guys who are watching are veterans at Space Engineers and know these things, but this is just information for those who are just starting out. Yeah, it is. I'm really quite pleased with this pack. I am actually enjoying it. Now, one last thing they have, if I go in here, let's put this away. We have some new animations as well. So you probably wouldn't use these so much unless you're playing online, but if we do that, we have like a dance. Yeah, you get down, boy. Woohoo! And they're quite long, some of these animations. So if I do 2, another dance. Work it, baby, work it. Nice. 3. A little bit of a taunt. 4. Kind of like getting bossy, having conversation sort of thing. Yeah. Nice. 5. Bit of a stretch. Wake up in the morning. Nice. Yeah, so a nice bodily stretch. So then we've got don't know. And we have kind of like getting frustrated, argumentative type thing. And then 8, looking around, checking out what is going on. So if I go tab again, bring things back in again, if we go G, you can actually put those in. Yeah, if we go to emotes, you got all your emotes here, you can just drag them into your toolbar, and it's, I'm not too sure if there's another way of doing it, because otherwise it means that you need to have this particular toolbar open to actually use the emotes, which is a pain. Of course, we've got the frostbite ones here, but these ones here with this symbol here are from the new Sparks of the Future DLC. Let's close all that. So yeah, that's a bit of a better look at the Sparks of the Future DLC, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool, and I will definitely be making use of a number of the new items within it in my builds. So yeah, and I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, then feel free to ask me down below. I'll answer them as best as I can. If you've enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button. Yeah. And subscribe. Why not dance to that little bell? Yeah. Funky. I'll catch you next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. See ya.